Hi, green building sells faster. That may be a news that might not really be welcomed by you as much as you would hear any other statement like, okay, tall buildings sell faster, luxury apartments sell faster, or even affordable housing sells faster. But I can assure you that in our experience in the last about 2 decades of running various organizations and projects across the country, I can assure you that green building indeed sells faster. So here are a few examples that I would like to share with you from our experience in Idean Lab Architects that we have been running in the last about 5 years or so. There is this project, it's a villa project that we got to construct, design and support construction in Bangalore. So prime location, there was already an architect who had designed some kind of a row housing, and it came to us and we looked at it and I said, definitely this is not a kind of a building that would make the builder feel proud about the building that he had constructed. So we suggested to him that we would relook at the design and offer completely sustainable 100% off the grid project on water and power and waste management. And he said, sure, why don't you take a shot at it? So we designed it and went back and gave it to him, and he loved the project so much. Now the project has practically doubled in terms of the price. So he was looking at selling it around 3,500 rupees per square foot. Now he's selling it at about 7,000, 8,000 rupees per square foot. Now clearly that confidence the builder got it because the building was a 100% sustainable solution. Another project which I can tell you that we did in Basanagudi in Bangalore for another client. Once again, we looked at the project and we said that we need to have a lot of green elements in it, a lot of sustainable elements in it, and the client chose us over any other architect in the city simply because we have been harping on sustainable buildings for about 2 decades now. Particularly my wife has been a pioneer in this space in architecting such communities. I have been supporting her in driving many of these initiatives in my management capacity, in my thinking capacity. Now, this client of ours insisted that we should not only design but also construct. So at Idean Lab, we took up both the design and the construction of this apartment. It's a small apartment. It's not a very large apartment. It's a 5,400 square feet plot with about 4 stories buildings. And after we designed it and we started looking out for customers for this project, clearly there was a great response from the market, and the price of the product is being quoted at about 30% more than a conventional building nearby. Now I can go on telling you other examples. There's another project that I was involved in Yelahanka in Bangalore. There was a pretty big, mighty developers project just about a kilometer and a half away from our project, who was quoting around 2,700 rupees per square foot, and this builder is indeed a pretty famous builder in the market, and we started quoting around 3,000 rupees in the market because we had so many different kind of green features in the product, and people just flocked it. People just loved it because that's the kind of a solution people were looking for. We said this 100% sustainable on water, 100% sustainable on waste management. There will be no wastage to the grid, to the government grid, and we'll be about 50 to 60% less dependent on power from the government on this project. Plus, we gave them green air conditioning in the project. And of course, there are a host of other features that we added in terms of sustainability in this project. The customers just loved it. I oversaw sales of something like to the tune of about 40-50 crores of marketing in less than about 6 months. It was quite overwhelming for us to see the kind of response we got from the market. Now, the clients have always responded well to architects walking them through the green features rather than the salesperson just talking about how good the product is and how great the location is, and the reputation of the builder and so on and so forth. Customers really like to know what is going into making of a home. So we used to insist that the architects should sit down with the customers and walk them through the different kind of green features that we are offering in that particular home of theirs, and that had a great response from the market. People just loved it. Now, Anytime we talk about water, people love it. We give solutions for water management. All our projects, whether we are doing a 60-40, 2,400 square feet independent home, or we are doing a 104 acre project in Sheltex Karjat, for instance, which is a brick eagle project, we're talking about 100% sufficiency on water for life. We would not require government water supply. We would not require any sewage connection with the government either. It's completely off the grid. It's completely self-sustaining in this project for life. It doesn't matter whether there is 5 people in one building that we are designing and constructing, or there's going to be, let's say, 12,000 homes or 14,000 homes, as the case may be in Sheltex Karjat, that is being designed and constructed now by Sheltex, which is a brick eagle company. Now, it doesn't matter. What matters is that we can always go sustainable on water, and that's great. That's fantastic when you talk about that in the context of what has happened in 2015 and 16 with the rains having been failed in India, and most of the states, particularly in Maharashtra and Karnataka, suffering from severe water shortage, particularly in cities like Mumbai and Bangalore. People just love these solutions. People want these solutions. They're beginning to demand solution. In fact, there are many projects that we know elsewhere in part of the country where people refuse to cut a check if you don't show them the water source. They are not buying a product just because you tell them the government is going to supply water to this particular community. They're not happy. They want builders to solve this problem, and that can come from sustainable solutions like the ones that we're designing in ID Lab. Now, clearly we have seen that there is lesser maintenance on any sustainable building that we have designed so far. If, let us say, your regular society fees would be around anywhere between 10 rupees to 20 rupees in a city like Delhi or Mumbai, or perhaps around 5 to 10 rupees in a city like Bangalore. Sustainable buildings is about 50% of that. That's all it will take, simply because there is less garbage to clean, and there is less water bills, and there is less power bills. So you can clearly see that people love these kind of things. That's not going to help you sell faster and better, but these are things that are becoming a hygiene factor going forward. People like to hear these things. These are checklist items. They say, how much am I going to pay for maintenance fees? If that is going to be lesser than one big tick mark in the buyer's checklist. Now, gardens. There are different kinds of gardens that you might have seen, and for us, garden is not about how it looks. It's about creating spaces where people can interact with the plants. It's about how do we bring nature into their homes? How do we create extensions of their homes into the gardens? And the only way to do that is to avoid any kind of use of invasive species. We prefer and we love native, local, chemical-free, poison-free plants. We use them whichever project we do. In fact, there's one project that we have done in Visakhapatnam, which is one of the largest integrated township that we have seen in Visakhapatnam, where we have recommended only the native plants. And we have done something similar in Chennai. We have done something similar in Coimbatore. We have seen that customers really love to hear these things. So when salespeople talk about their campuses, they are automatically taking them to the garden. And they're seeing that when there is garden around, customers love to decide faster. And the children love the spaces, the parents love the spaces, the wife loves the spaces. Clearly the man say, okay, if you're happy with this place, there's positive vibrations that come to the family, and they love to go and buy the home. Now, offering nature-like experience within the home is another thing that we have found to be extremely useful. For instance, having a breakfast deck with a tree or with some shrubs and gardens around nearby your home, or just attached to your kitchen or to your dining spaces, helps increase the sales. Offering homes that attract butterflies and birds Why not have a butterfly garden in every home? Why not have a bird bath in every home? Why not have a nice birding nest in every home? So if you're able to create these kind of spaces, these kind of experiences for customers, people just love it. These are things that people like to talk about. I like to call them as chewing gum factors, people like to talk about these things all the time. So offering homes with green technologies that reduce dependence on the government grid and that make people feel proud about what they have certainly helps sell much faster, much better. It's like a magnet. It's like a strong magnet. It attracts people to come to them, because once they buy these homes, it's no more their private spaces. It becomes a public statement. So we need to give them reasons to showcase their house to their friends and relatives and get them to say, Shabash, well done. Thank you very much. I am Krish Eswar. I am the co-founder of IDN Lab, which is a brick eagle company. Thank you.